parables when you get into 15, where Peter asks about, explain to go to Jesus about explaining one. So I just want you guys to read over there. Uh, Jamal burnt up my laptop. But Jamal, that's what I did, man. I know that thing was on the charge for about 2, 3 months. That don't make no sense. I didn't realize I had it plugged in. That's what Reagan told me too. She said you probably burnt it up. All right, Matthew 13, and of course we went over. We was going over the wheat in the weeds, um, and what have you, and then we skipped over, of course, to um 13:36, where Jesus actually explains that parable that he was sharing with the people. But in 13, verse 31, we get the parable of the mustard seed. Now, every time we hear somebody talk about mustard seed, we think about the faith that we have heard, that if you had a faith the size of a mustard seed, you can tell this mountain to move, the mountain will move. But the parable, what does the parable mean? Will someone read that for us, please? That's 13, verse 31 through verse 32.
And he presented another parable to them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field. And this is smaller than all other seed, but when it is full grown, it is larger than the garden plant and becomes a tree, so that the birds of the air come and nest in its branches.
So the kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, can be compared to a mustard seed. Can anyone tell us what Jesus mean about this? Have anyone ever seen a mustard seed?
Yep, got one on my desk.
You got one on your desk?
I mean, somebody
On a piece of tape? Because I'm
made
pretty.
some money off me. They like they made some kind of decorative way where they put like a mustard seed it's flattened out and I got it hanging up in my office.
Okay.
So I remember that I need to have like,
Hmm.
while I'm at work. Okay, so your answer is my answer to your question is the kingdom is like a mustard seed, but you got to keep going, which is planted. So it starts small and then it grows bigger than any other seed
Okay.
that is planted, right?
Okay. So go on into it. So if
So
the
if you start out with the faith of a mustard seed and you plant it and you tend to it and you read the Bible and you do good things and you love your brother and all of that, then it'll grow as big as heaven and get you there.
Okay, I'm not gonna disagree, but I'm gonna disagree
Okay.
because of what we talking about, what we trying to, what he's talking about when he shared this parable with them. Not saying that you're wrong, but as far as the kingdom of heaven being like a mustard seed, um, so what's the? Of course, we know that the kingdom, that's this is the church, or whatever, right? So he comparing that to a mustard seed, saying it could be like a mustard seed. What is he saying? And think about the just like she said, really small seed, but by the time it's full grown, it's huge. So I know he's actually saying too, think about this. Uh, if we just go all the way back to when Jesus came, what we read about Jesus and what he did. he was a one man show from the start, right? Then he that by the time he left, he had some followers. Do the people that started who carried on his work, they don't compare. That number don't compare to what we are today. Making any sense?
Mhm.
Okay, so what he's saying is that, you know, yes, we started small, but the kingdom is huge as long as we continue, or can grow and be huge as long as we continue to do the work. It's something else within that mustard seed in that tree, on the tree. By the time the tree is, fully grown, um, huh?
I read something, but it's kind of going.
Go ahead. Is it the shelter? Is it the
Yeah,
housing? And
yeah.
go ahead.
So if you look at 32, where it says that it becomes a tree,
Mm-hmm.
and that the birds of the air nest in its branches,
Mm-hmm.
there's two schools of thought that I read about. The one part of it is that uh, as this kingdom grows and develops and expands, it is a place of refuge. Just like I can come in and feel just down and just I'm having a tough time, and I can come in here and be around other saints, and that loving one another, encouraging one another. The one another is the spirits of fruit of the spirit, and the thing that I experience when I'm with other saints is actually a shelter for me.
Hmm.
Because when we're around each other, right, I have something in y'all that I don't get everywhere I go. And then
Hmm.
the other thought is he's also saying that if you look at that one and he's talking about the one with the living being in the flower, and the lady had the three portions of flour, well, you transfer that to what today's measurements are. She had a huge portion of flour, way more than what a person would make in one time. And what it's also may be saying is, hey, that mustard seed is supposed to grow into a bush. A mustard plant is actually like a bush. It ain't supposed to be a tree. And it could be saying that, hey, sometimes the church has grown so large that things are in it that shouldn't be in it, like the bird.
Hmm.
Birds don't really should be building their nest in bushes.
Hmm.
Because if you look at the other parable with the leaven being in the flour, it don't take but a little bit of leaven being in the flour to change that whole batch of flour. So you can look at both sides of it. If you think that's a good thing, then it don't take but a little bit of a good thing to make a big change.
Hmm.
But then you also have the other side of the coin where it's just like we look at now, like with a mega church. Okay, people come to church wanting to worship the Lord is good, right? But as these churches get bigger and bigger, a lot of times they end up losing their way and they start trying to be all things.
Hmm. Okay. Anyone else? Anyone? Okay. Well, this is what he's saying. I got what Battle is saying. It's that tree can be so that bush can be so big. Matter of fact, I don't care for hedge. And the reason why I don't care for hedge bush is every time I have trimmed some, some bee wasps or something come out of there and have me running. So I don't care for them. So I get what you're saying that it can be something within, the church that don't supposed to be there or whatever. But here, what he's talking about, what Jesus is, explaining is the growth of the church. That I mean that's the long and short of I'm going to say how it actually started from, you know, well, I don't want to say it started with it did start with him, but as far as the physical side, I'm going to say it started with him. Uh, uh, well, it didn't start with him. It started with John and some other stuff was in place before Jesus came on the scene. That makes sense. Okay, before he actually came here. God put on flesh is all I'm saying. So it's just how it started. I mean, if we read through the Old Testament where God, did certain things to get things in line, I'm going to say, for him to start building the church. We remember some of this stuff, as far as with Abraham and all these different people. He put stuff in place. So it started out, small. By the time Jesus get on the scene, he did his, through his walk, through his teaching. Y'all know he didn't have many following him. Now you do have heard a lot of people, was listening to him, but as far as true followers, how many did he really have? It could have been millions, but all at the same time could have been a couple hundred. We don't really know, but so it started small, grew large. Now getting to the tree being and like he said, actually, if y'all go and look it up, that the tree get roughly bush, whatever you want to call it, about 10 feet. I mean, so it's not like one of these big live oak trees that we see around, but I think it just has so many branches off from it. Um, come from something so small that you can barely see, right, Age? You can barely see it, you know, and it's a housing for all the birds build their nests and all this other different stuff. So if you look at the kingdom, like he was saying, he come here, well, among his brothers and sisters, he gets something that he can't get out there, right? That makes sense. Tell me if it don't. We'll
Said it again.
say what
The
again?
last part.
I don't remember what I said.
It's a housing.
Yeah,
What you say?
it's a housing. It's a place for for shelter. For yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you get something here that you can't get nowhere else. I'm not saying in this building. I'm saying among kingdom folks, you get something within the kingdom, within the church that you can't get in other places.
So you saying we are the king?
Yes, ma'am. The church. Yeah. Yes. That's what he's talking about. The he's talking about the church here, kingdom of heaven, because the church is heaven on earth, right? No. Yes. Maybe. We don't know.
Yeah. Heaven present.
Yes, on earth. Yes, ma'am. Yep. Anything else with the mustard seed? So I'm still looking for my notes. I had a really good one, but it slipped my mind. It was a last minute though, Miss Helen. So that last minute stuff. Sometimes I lose it. It was something I was reading this evening, and I wanted to share it, but I gone. Maybe, maybe. I tell you what, if someone would read Ezekiel, turn over to Ezekiel chapter. It's not this just a parallel uh of the mustard seed of the tree. I'm going to say 17 verses 22 and 23.
This is what the Lord God says. I will also take a spring from the lofty top of the cedar and set it out, and I will break off from the topmost of its young twigs a tender one, and I will plant it on a high and lofty mountain. On the high mountain of Israel I will plant it, so that it may bring forth branches and bear fruit, and become a stately cedar. And birds of every kind will nest under it. They will nest in the shade of its branches.
Thank you, thank you. I'm trying to get over. I was hoping I could get to it for you. Got done. Acts chapter 5. Acts chapter 5. I think it's verse 33, 38. 30. Yep, 5, 38, and 39. It's so So in the present case, I say to you, stay away from these men, uh, and let them alone. For if this plan or action is of men, it will be overthrown. But if it is from God, you will not be able to overthrow them, or else you will find yourself fighting, even find yourself fighting against God. So in Acts chapter 5 and verse 5, verse 3 and 9, 38 and 39, the here once again, what he's talking about is the kingdom and the influence where it's like a benefit. Okay, do y'all feel like you benefit for being in the church, being part of the body? Yeah. So, and of course he's saying, if it's not from God, don't worry about it. It'll be kicked to the side. But if it's God, you're gonna be fighting with God. That make any sense? Yeah, okay. I got one other. Let me,
Why you ask us like that?
huh?
Yeah, I think it's a benefit. Why you ask us like that? Why you say it that way?
Because I don't feel like some people think. How many church goers do we know?
The church goes
Church goers.
by.
So I don't think they realize. I don't think they understand in that way. So when I say, do y'all think y'all benefit from it? Everybody would say yes, but I think it's something to really dig into and listen to. Because okay, why do you come to worship? I don't want to say church. I want to say worship. Why do you worship, Adrian Mason?
Worship,
Huh?
worship to give honor to God, to show respect, show reverence.
Okay, why?
Where is it supposed to do?
See, that's the wrong way to look at it. But I ain't saying that you wrong.
Okay, I worship because I want to get to heaven. And if I just didn't go to worship and didn't go to Bible study and I just went and did things off on my own, I would surely die and go to heaven.
I told a young person they was talking about their friends. I don't like talking to young people when they start talking about their friends. It gets on my nerves so bad. You in middle school, high school, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, that person ain't gonna mean nothing to you.
But to them,
I know.
to them a week is a lifetime.
Exactly. And
You
but I
need
told
to
this
come
young.
back and talk to me next week. If
What
you
I
feel the same way, we'll have a conversation.
say? What?
Come back and talk to me next week. If you feel the same way, we'll have a conversation. So I used to tell athletes, like, she'd be so upset about something.
Yeah.
You feel like this way in a couple of days, we'll talk. Right now, we ain't need to talk about it.
Did what you used to do.
Because you get all worked up and try to help them, and then tomorrow they wake up and they don't even know what you're talking about.
No. That's why I say it don't matter. That's why. But anyways, I told him. I said, what's the benefit? She said, what do you mean? I said, what do you get out of this relationship? She couldn't answer. Some weeks later, she came to me. She said, I thought about what you said. She said, the only thing I can say is that she bought me a gift for my birthday after all these years.
And you probably regifted it.
So, so, so all I'm saying is okay. If it wasn't no benefit, if just church goers, because I feel like I'm gonna be blessed because I go to church, or I feel like it's what the Bible say. Um, I don't know. I know I come because of the promises he prayed about the promises. Uh, outside of the command, it's a want for me. I want to do it.
Well, I think that, of course, I think if you're in the body and you're coming and you're worshiping, I think you get blessings. You get blessed. But I think even if you don't do what you're supposed to do, you still get blessed because everybody don't get what they deserve, and that's God. So it's like I'm getting all of this stuff. I just ought to be here.
You know
I
what?
ought to be here to say thank you. I ought to be here to say, what can I do to help make this a better place? You know,
Yeah.
like I should want, or we should want to come.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, Jamal got his hand up.
Yes, there's many benefits to coming to worship, but coming to worship needs to be voluntary. It's not something that we should be doing because the word tells us to, even though that's part of it, but it should be voluntary. Not because someone told us to, not because someone made us to go. It needs to be voluntary. When we think about, or we look at the Old Testament and we look at the worship sacrifices that they sacrificed, yes, that sacrifices were according to God's instructions, but they did it willingly, they did it voluntarily. And it shows a level of commitment, it shows a level of gratitude that you have towards God.
Instead of just doing, it's like uh, it's Adrian got his hand up. It's like the person on the job that say, I'm doing my job. I ain't gonna do nothing more. I'm not gonna do no less. I ain't saying there's anything wrong with it, but there's something wrong with that.
And they wonder why they don't never get no promotion.
That's it. That's it. So you can do it, but don't complain if you don't never move nowhere. Go ahead, Adrian.
Um, Devotion towards something that you do without someone having to tell you do constantly holds more weight than you doing something because someone told you to do it. The employee that walks into the job every day, he does above and beyond, not because there's someone on his butt, telling him what to do, but he just does it because he wants to do it. That holds way more weight. And that same thing applies to church, going to church.
Hmm. You cleaned your room today? You
And
cleaned your room today? You had to somebody had to tell you?
put a picture on
Mm, wait. Did go beyond at work?
I don't have a job.
You quit?
I didn't quit.
You on fire?
They made him leave.
You wasn't going above and beyond?
Let's just say some technical issues. Availability is best.
But you learn from your mistakes.
Y'all pray real hard, but we got an interview.
Oh,
He said something, and Jamal said something, and that's what kind of in my mind. That hopefully all of us, when we come here, right? We come here because we're grateful for what God has done for us. And it's kind of like a side to side. You move past that point of, because I think all of us get blessed, and we're used to getting. And so sometimes we don't even realize how much we've been getting because we're accustomed to it.
yeah, like food for the children. Ain't got
Well,
no
you just
job, man.
think if you ain't never went without out a meal, you ain't never went home. You ain't never worried about what you was gonna eat. It sounds crazy, but to somebody that's their life, they don't realize how big a deal that is. That you never got hungry and just couldn't walk and go get something to eat, walk in the kitchen, grab something, or you had money just sitting in your pocket. So I think like about God the same way is like the more we grow and you get a better appreciation of what you already got, then you start want to return some of that what you've already got. I think our biggest thing is the more we grow in Christ, the more we want to love God the way He loves us.
the more we grow in Christ, we should want to love others.
I think that's the byproduct. I think the more that you grow and you have gratitude for the way God loves you, right?
But it's easy to love God. It ain't easy to love everybody else.
Well, I think that's the problem though. When our love for God ain't the way it needs to be, it blocks you from loving somebody else. You can't love the person that does everything for you, right? It's gonna be hard for you to love somebody who messes up all the time. You're supposed to be picking me up for you to give me a ride to work, right? And I be late, man. You got to knock on the door, blow the horn, wait on me. You gonna have a hard time with me, even though technically I'm wrong. You give me a ride out of the goodness of your heart,
But that's how God do us.
but I'm inconveniencing you.
I mean, I'm just saying, but God do us that way. So how can we be mad at that person that we had to knock on the door?
We shouldn't, but it happens though.
I do. I be mad.
Because you got to think about it. The one that's so good to us, that does all these things for us and is patient with us while we struggle sometimes with stuff we just got to grow on. Sometimes we being hard headed. If we have a hard time loving that person who, hey, ain't done no wrong, the person that's imperfect, that's struggling just like you is, you think we will be able to see them eye to eye because I can see me in them in some kind of way. But it's actually the opposite. We tend to pick out how much, or I ain't like, I'm glad I ain't like that person right there. And it should be that way, but most of the time it is. It's kind of that whole, it's the whole grace thing that you getting something that you didn't deserve. And then you start realizing that the way you got that you didn't deserve, you're supposed to be giving stuff to other people they ain't deserve. Not because somebody told you, because that's just the way it should work.
But my question is, how do we teach someone to be grateful? Because I've been struggling in that apartment with Dante. So I was just making me think about it. It's been on my mind. So and to hear this, I was like, how do you show someone how to be more grateful? I'm struggling with that.
You show him, you keep showing him how you're grateful.
Yeah,
His kids don't really listen to what you say. If they hear you, it might sink in when they get older. But right now, they're concentrating on what they see you do.
Uh,
I mean, that's just my opinion.
uh,
But I don't, if you're talking about him off the record, um, he might be so shut down because of his background that he might not have the same emotion.
I think it's kind of a process thing. It's like gratitude isn't something that everybody gets at the same rate. You know, based like you say, background can have an effect on it. You look at like Romans 2 and 4, where it's talking about, plan of salvation and all that stuff. If you look at 4, it says, or do you think lightly of the riches of his kindness and tolerance and patience, not knowing that the kindness of God leads you to repent? So the idea is, even though we hard headed and we stubborn, because God is so kind and gracious with us, He just keeps pouring more onto you. Because that is the thing that's going to eventually wear you down till you do understand. And I think that's kind of the same way with our children. What we're supposed to do, and they have to graduate as they get older, but we're supposed to keep demonstrating these things to them so that they will actually come into the understanding of it.
hmm. Jamal.
Yeah, with that one, teaching someone to be grateful. Yes, you continue to show them how to be grateful, but we got to remember who is the ultimate one that's gonna help that person be grateful. So we have to teach him how to love God and put God first and give himself over to God because the Holy Spirit is the one that's gonna be working in him that gonna help him be grateful.
Mm. That's good, Jamal, because I was gonna say it's, uh, it's not. I'm not. I'm gonna say it's not possible to teach nobody how to be great. And most you don't think so? You think so? And most who, my son, for example, real good, great kid, but my son don't care. He don't have the knocking on the door. I pull up, Kayla, I just called you and told you 10 minutes. This fool gonna tell me, well, sometimes your 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
You get mad with him.
Yeah, I got mad with it because I told her, I said, well, next time you the one need some money. I got.
And that's what I'm getting to say. You got to start where a person
Is.
is too, because if you don't know where they come from.
Right.
So you're training a person that somebody has already damaged
Yeah.
to
And to
your
you,
standard.
it looks like
And
they
then
might
you're
be
trying to teach them
14,
about
15,
God
16.
and all of that.
But they might be 3 or 4 years old that you're trying to start. You got to start with like a 3 or 4 year old. Because
Yeah.
that's what you know. You don't know none of that other stuff. Your developmental age does not always equal your chronological age. And so, like the mom says, yes, you got to keep praying for them.
Mm-hmm.
And you do have to think, how your son?
Grown,
His brain ain't finished
23,
growing. It don't
23.
finish
Yeah,
growing
you
till
right.
25.
27, 21, 22.
23.
So
His
here's what
brain
you gonna
still
tell
growing.
him.
What?
That you gonna say I'll be there in 30 minutes and you come an hour.
But see, this the thing. Nah, common sense, which I feel like most don't even try.
Common sense will tell him not to say it, even though he's thinking it.
No,
No.
common sense would tell him, Daddy got a lot going on. All I gotta do is get out of bed, put my clothes on, and wait on him.
It ain't about you. It's
I
about
know
him.
you
I mean,
exactly
yeah,
right.
See, that's
But
it's
see
about them.
you right. But
And they
that's the
gonna get
thing.
to
If
like,
if I was in that position, I don't have a car, I don't have a ride, man, you wouldn't have to slow down for me.
ain't nobody even.
To be
Were you
outside waiting
grateful
on
to your dad when you was his age?
Yes, man.
You were
Big time.
all the time.
All the
Even-
time.
Like even before.
You got to think of
Yes.
where he came from. They about to beat him if he wouldn't. So
you.
Cause like now, as an adult, man, I've been doing this for years. But as an
Oh,
adult,
I
would
wasn't
call
afraid
my
to get
mom
no
and say,
beat.
"I'm so sorry. I am sorry.
Yeah.
Like all the stuff I did, and I was a good child. I am so sorry I put you through all of that."
I didn't apologize because you get what that's what my daddy sold. He sold those seeds. He created them bad boys, so he had to. Oh well. Go ahead, go ahead, Jamal.
I just want to give a Bible example. Look at who Paul used to be. Paul was ruthless. He was a murderer. He was killing. But it took divine intervention for him to change.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's how we have to look at it. That like God can change anyone.
Right.
We just have to be patient with that person and continue to have grace that like God had grace with us and continue to love that person until eventually they decide, hey, I want to change. I want to give myself over to Christ.
Preach, because that's why we all sit on here.
Well, that's what I was just kind of thinking in my mind. Is like you could take somebody like me that grew up in a pretty stable two-parent household that go without the my mom and them had, the advantage had that by the time I came along. And your gratitude still doesn't work the way people think it works. Because if you used to being up here don't mean nothing to you because you've always had that.
But he,
So then what happens, right? You keep going along, and then you have your moment when you're on the road. And then like Jesus came to Paul on the road. It happens to you. And then you go from your gratitude being down here to maybe it comes up a little bit more. But it still don't go from there to there. You just are more aware of what you already been getting.
Hmm.
and I think like, I think sometimes we have an idea of what we think.
Mm.
Maybe the gratitude should like he's saying, You wouldn't have to slow down for me, like you know, like
You wouldn't have
that's
to
the way
because
he
I don't think about me. I
that's the
think
way
about
he
the one
think
who's
it. Like,
doing something for me. I man, I'm not going to inconvenience you because I need. Really?
you don't think he inconvenienced me
I
by
know he
making you
don't.
wait for 5, 10 minutes?
I know he don't.
Cause you daddy.
I know.
I mean, if you pass by and don't go back and pick him up, you might think about it the next time.
You keep riding.
I ain't telling you to do that.
Don't do it.
Work with some of these children.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have great children, but like they don't respond the way that I think they should respond to things. Hopefully, I mean, Zachary's brain finished growing, but I just got to pray for him.
No, it's because it's like he's never satisfied. It's always giving more or want more or just not appreciative. Like what we give him. Or can I have more? Can I get this? Can I? It's can't never satisfy.
But you know what? I had my baby, you would buy him a game, those for the Nintendo, whatever they had. He getting that one and say, Mama, this one coming out. So he was never satisfied because he always trying to figure out how he can get another one. He haven't even played that one yet.
Yeah. We pay Allie rent because she had no job. Okay, we understand. You got a job, but you don't get paid.
Yeah.
So we pay her rent. Pay her rent. We paid all of the down payments on everything. Get your water, your electricity, I mean, like my whole summer working job, all of that. She called me with a little friend in the background, and she grown. She said, "Do you want to sponsor a T-shirt? A T-shirt? How many dollars that I just spent on you? No, I do not." Like, and she said, "Well, I'm almost broke." Well, think about how bad you want that T-shirt. Now, she has told us, thank y'all for being there, thank y'all for doing this, thank y'all, other people don't have all this. But in the same breath, all these other people that don't have this, and I'm grateful for y'all, you still asking me for a 25, it was a $35 t-shirt or a $50 sweatshirt. Do you want to sponsor? No, ma'am, I do not. How bad do you
He
want
just
it?
$35, age.
You just
How
heard what
many?
she
Do you want to
said.
know how many thousands of dollars I spent on that girl moving?
$1,000, $35. Man, get that
And
girl $35.
I'm gonna get it all back. I'm gonna get it all back because Dan said she gonna pick where we going. Nursing home. I get it. And I did it because I wanted her to succeed. But I was
It's
just
never
thinking
a
in my mind, did you really call and ask for me to sponsor something?
Yeah, it's never stopped. My
It'll
son
never
used to
stop.
call me and live in Atlanta and say, Mama, I need this and I need that. When I go to his house, he got a game chair. He got things that I don't have. And I say, okay, I'm the one that's crazy.
Idiot. That's why I said I don't want to sponsor. No, I do not.
Been there.
It's just a love. Y'all ought to be happy that our kids do us like that. They love. That's a love beyond no other. Go ahead, Jamal.
Sometimes you also have to let people go through some things. You can't always bail them out. Let's look at King Nebuchadnezzar. He had everything, and then wouldn't listen to Daniel. But what happened to him? He had to go eat that grass in that field before he got right. So sometimes you have to let people go through something.
Yeah. That's when you learn your best lesson. When you go through something.
But that's what I seem to see more. I seem to see more of that now of how they're never satisfied because it looks like to me what I'm seeing is those kids that don't have and have to fend for themselves, they end up doing better than the ones that had what they needed. And that's, I mean, I see that so much now. I just look at mine, My children ain't never had to want for nothing. But those children up the street that we had to help buy their clothes and help do this and do, they gone on off to college. They got good jobs. They got the and I mean,
Yeah, they're right.
one of my grandsons, his friend, they just bought them a new house and got married and everything. And I'm like, they were struggling. We took them out of town with us. We did for them. So what did we go wrong?
Giving them everything.
Giving them everything.
And not even
They didn't have to want for
everything.
nothing.
Everything, but
Not even everything, because like you think, I thought our kids won't be spoiled because we don't even have enough money to spoil them like that. You know what I'm saying? Not like we did.
but
We
you'd be
just made sure they
amazed
didn't
that
want it.
You
you
know,
didn't have that
in
much,
high
but
school,
you
they
went without.
have brand new
Was it?
cars that they drive. And, you know, some of the kids' cars were better than my car. And they had a piece of a car. What is it? Honda Accord. They call it Accord.
Decor?
Accord. And they said that they used to get picked at. Who picking at you? I said the
You
ones
see
that
one?
walking picking at you. Yeah. You giving them a ride and they picking at you. So okay, I digress. But you just think I didn't think we had enough to spoil this.
Right.
But you turn around and look and you like, well, they are. They are.
Because I was by myself.
Right.
But
You
I
can't
went
carry
out and
jokes
got a
from
new
books.
car. That's how they got the old one.
Exactly.
But obviously you
So you
spoiled
still
them.
ain't doing
They-
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, see, it's now y'all talking about the little older ones. I'm talking about the younger ones, the probably 16, 17 under. I don't say 18, 20 under, probably. They, yeah, stuff don't mean nothing to them. I mean, I mean, nothing means anything to them.
47 on then.
We had a young lady that was working with that came to work for us one time. And her son was like, man, I think he's maybe like 10. So her and the child's dad were together. So the child's dad was gonna buy him some shoes for Christmas. Because he didn't buy the exact shoe that she thought he was gonna buy, she gave them shoes away. Took them and donated. Said you can't get him exactly what he want, don't get him nothing.
Okay. I'm gonna show you.
And he would have nothing, and him and her would have nothing to do with them shoes. It wasn't like no junk shoes. They were still $100 pair of shoes. Gave them away.
But see, that's what's wrong with
And that's the
with
problem.
us now because we sit and talk right in front of our children about everybody's business and they don't know how to balance what they
Well,
need to do.
sometimes we have to step back and see what message we're sending.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, am I playing some role, some part in what's coming out?
I don't think that, but I was really scared of my mama. I did
Right.
everything not to get everything. Cause that lady just little fool.
Yeah. But you got a pleasure out of it.
I'm saying like
When
now.
my daddy used to
I'm
tell
saying
her,
like
I think
now.
you just like to hear the children holler.
There were certain, I mean, like I was afraid of my mom and she didn't like I ain't get love her, but I was afraid of her. But like I stepped back and I must have been showing them some kind of way that stuff. I mean, because they something I was doing, like I was trying to have boundaries and rules and standards and started coming back to church because I thought, okay, they need to know who God is. I know, but they need to know. And they need to know more from just me because we might be teaching them the wrong thing. So that's why we even started coming back. But you know, evidently I taught them how to be spoiled as they would be. Something else and somebody did.
Hmm. Well, I know I spoiled Reagan big time. But one thing Reagan will tell y'all, now DJ will drive all over the place. I don't care what you want to eat. If it's a line, I'm not waiting. Because you can eat at the house. So all that little stuff like that.
What things do you do for Reagan to spoil her?
All kind of stuff. And see, it's a
Now, it
reason.
might not be the food, but it might be something else.
Exactly. That's what I'm
And so
saying.
all of that. So
It's
you
my
try
my
to spoil on this side, you spoil on that side.
but see mine intentional in a way because it won't be no lazy joker. be able to move in on my baby. Because if it don't look like daddy, man, she gonna have a hard time. She probably won't never. She probably won't never. That's why I did that.
Don't say that.
I don't want you to bet nobody on it.
Don't get nobody on that.
I'm not gonna bet nobody, but all I'm saying is that's the reason why I did it. That's the reason I did.
Yeah.
It have been several of them that
I
done
got some cousins
been kicked to the curb.
like Reagan and her baby daddy, her two babies and the daddy, like she she ain't make him live up to what she was raised on.
I got you. And I ain't saying that it's gonna happen, but that's the reason I did it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jamal.
Do look at what they're, about their dad.
Well, go back
My
to
question is, are we sowing these seeds? Who's sowing? What kind of seeds are we sowing?
Yeah, that's what
I was gonna talk
you gotta
about the
step back
seed.
and see what we've done.
What we have done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just about to talk about the seeds. Going back to the seed, yes, we got to nurture and water that seed, but we got to allow for God to grow that seed. We do not have to go buy a luxury pot for that seed so it can grow. No, we just got to nurture and water it.
Yeah.
And allow for God to grow that seed into a plant so it can produce fruit. We don't have to do all the other stuff like getting a luxury pot or put it put it in some fancy house or whatever. We don't have to do all that extra.
We do it though. Oh,
But I'm there. I fit into the mall to get something on my feet.
Oh no. No.
No, I took, to take my baby to get him to his game. He went in dealers, and this back in the day, when he was 47 years old. He went in there and bought him a T-shirt for $75.
T-shirt.
Yes,
On your credit card?
yes,
Oh.
yes,
What T-shirt was $75 back in the day?
yeah.
I ain't never owned a $75 T-shirt.
But anyway, he went in there. So when I got my bill, yes, I told him what to do. Usually they do, but that one. He, so he, I had to watch the shirt and then never paid no attention. But he wore that shirt for about 5 years for his birthday, Christmas, and everything. He did not get nothing else. Because I couldn't take it back.
You should have sat him down and had some economic lessons with him. You gonna pay $75. Let's see if we have some buttons.
But that's where his mind was. It wasn't, I always bought a nice thing. But I got this name brand when it was on sale.
I bet you ain't seen the minister.
Oh, he ain't never had another credit card or nothing of mine.
I stopped buying and just gave him a certain amount, but you then I stopped buying him because he was wanting this, that. And he wanted me to spend whatever it cost. And I know I couldn't afford that. So I said, okay, here's such like if I give you $300, you better make sure you spend it well. He learned how to bargain shop.
Mm.
But that could have went on for,
if you just had a kept going.
but I didn't have it like
That's my dad didn't deal with me.
maybe I give you
When I
this.
got to a certain age, we didn't go school shopping no more.
That's it.
This is what I got to spend for you. Here you go. Now, if you come back with 2 pairs of shoes and 2 shirts and no pants, that's you.
That's it.
See, y'all still had it good. I had to work over the summer. That was my summer money was for. To buy my school clothes.
We gave him $100 to go in school shop. He come out with a $75 T-shirt. He said this was like an Obama.
Oh.
It was at the secondhand store
Huh?
too. It was at the secondhand. It was like a limited edition at the secondhand.
Did Obama wear it?
Right. And he only put on and man said, "That's your fault. You gave him the money to go in there, and he could decide whatever he wanted. So like, you gotta believe it. You said."
Where's my phone,
I
Dad?
almost cried when I was like,
That's on.
you.
Hey, no. You.
Don't answer that.
Where's mommy?
Right there. Yeah, I think it's like I said, this all goes back to like when we were talking about the different types of soils and all of that. All that stuff that we're doing is good, but that person still has to have the time when God says, "Okay, this is the time," because every person's personality and their makeup is totally different. You got a child and be somebody like Reagan. Hey, you might not have to touch him. Then you got somebody else. If you don't touch him, they
Yeah,
do
you
it.
got no.
So you can't really change that part.
That's right. That is right. Man, oh man. All right, y'all. We're gonna since we got off a little bit, we're gonna get back on the mustard seed.